Because I know that calling, until I do that thing that God has called me to do, like the priests in Moses' day, until I constantly offer the sacrifices that God demands of me, I will never be satisfied. I will never be satisfied. And they did it faithfully. And they handed that baton to the next generation, and they did it faithfully. I have fallen, I have stumbled in my sin and other sins and deception and them and witches and da-da-da-da and Pharisees. And I've had my own Pharisee encounter of my own self and the devil, of course, and the world and all this stuff. And I have quit for seasons and go, man, what next, God? And try to go back to the world in different ways and take Jesus there. And Jesus is up to you. It's like special forces. It's up to you. It's up to you if you want to get in the game. It's up to you, son. This is where Navy SEALs and Special Forces is where most people quit. It's most people go back to the world. I've heard some people quit and they go, man, they're not satisfied with that, but the calling of God is still on them, and then they come back to ministry. And then they stay this time. Failure is a part of the process. I know you don't want to hear that, but it is. I failed. I've screwed up. I've been screwed over many times in ministry. Man, a lot of bad things have happened growing in my faith and growing in ministry. And I sat on that bench so many times. And I said to the Lord one time, I said, I don't want to get back out there again. You know, you say, why? He knows. Because I'm going to get hurt again. Because I'm going to get blasted again. Because I'm going to get accused again. Because I'm going to get judged again. Because Satan's going to come after me and my family again. Why do you think most Christians sit on the sideline? Because of those very reasons. They get accused, attacked, persecuted, hated, and it's better and easier to sit down and not do anything than to constantly offer yourself up as a sacrifice. The word of the Lord comes into you. And you're going to do one or two things. You're going to sit on that bench like most Christians, or you're going to finally say, you know what? I'm going to suffer. I'm going to suffer for the gospel. I'm going to suffer for the word of God. They're going to call me all kinds of evil things. I'm going to accept that fully like a seal ready to die. They train being prepared to die. We ought to train the same way as Christians, because our message is a message of hope in the adversity of death every single day. As Paul says, we face death every day. Because of this message, not just because of the things in life that could happen randomly, but because of the message. We face death. Death of friends. Whether literally or spiritually, you lose a lot of